Nigeria is Africa's biggest producer of crude oil, but it lacks the capacity to refine the 35 million litres of fuel it requires on a daily basis. The government tightly regulates fuel prices to prevent transport cost-driven inflation, so it has kept fuel prices at 4 cents of a dollar, and the state-owned petroleum company NNPC has been absorbing the extra cost of importing refined fuel. The NNPC imports 80% of the fuel required, and the rest is imported by private fuel dealers who have stopped importing because they can't sell at the current price. And the effect of that is motorists having to spend hours in queues to buy fuel.
It's 11 o'clock. I'm here. Up to now, I have not yet got fuel. So the thing is terrible. Even to go to work, I can't go to work.
We are joining the queue by the people that cannot afford that 1,000 naira, because I cannot just imagine me buying fuel at a very high price and at the same time spending another for 1,000 naira just to enter.
The Petroleum Ministry had suggested to the Senate committee a partial deregulation of fuel prices to allow private importers to sell at a price determined by market forces, while the NNPC subsidizes its imports. But the idea has now been thrown out, and the committee has been asked to do more investigation. The government is afraid to let go of its control on fuel prices. Petroleum industry experts think liberalized fuel markets could be Nigeria's best option.
At some point, Nigerians have to get used to getting to the pump and seeing different prices at different times. So to me, I believe that this opposition, I wouldn't like to say, but I believe there is no political appetite. Let me put it that way. There's no political appetite right now to do that. We wanted to do it in 2011, 2012. There was a lot of, in 2011, 2012, there was a lot of opposition to that. And since then, we are back to this point where we basically set petroleum product price. And that is not sustainable in the long run, because in the long run, as crude oil price continue to recover, what we see is that the price of petroleum products also in the international market recovers. So as Nigeria is benefiting from higher price of crude oil, we're also losing because we then continue to rake in more loss on the petroleum products importing side.
Nigeria's government has tightly regulated fuel prices ever since it struck oil, but arguments to regulate fuel prices keeps getting weaker every day that passes. While there's a pushback against deregulation for fear of sudden rise in inflation, this particular crisis has spawned a black market and bribery at pump stations. The result is a 24% rise in transport fares across the country, and that is likely to translate in a general rise in prices in the economy. Kelechi, Emekalam, CGTN, Abuja, Nigeria.